Every financial system has a failure mode. The EP20 automated system is built for stable income. The EP24 debt elimination sequence assumes consistent monthly surplus. The EP25 variable income architecture assumes the buffer exists when the lean month arrives. None of them account for the month when income stops entirely, when the medical bill arrives that the budget did not anticipate, when the car fails and the repair exceeds the emergency fund. These are not hypothetical scenarios. They are the statistically certain disruptions every household will eventually face. The question is not whether the system will be tested. It is whether the household has a protocol for when it is. Scripture names both the theological posture for crisis and the practical sequencing for navigating it. By the end of this video, you will have the complete biblical crisis protocol, the triage sequence, the system adjustment framework, and the recovery path back to the EP20 architecture. The theological posture for financial crisis is in Philippians 4:11-12, an epistle, apostolic instruction written from prison. I have learned in whatever state I am to be content. I know how to be abased, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need. Paul is not describing a personality trait. He is describing a learned discipline, contentment as a practiced skill that applies in both directions. The person who only knows abundance is not prepared for scarcity. Ecclesiastes 9:11, wisdom literature. The race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. Time and chance happen to them all. Financial crisis does not arrive because of spiritual failure. It arrives because time and chance happen to everyone. The emergency fund from EP18 and the buffer account from EP25 exist for this reason. Job 1:21, narrative. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Job's posture during crisis, worship, not despair, is the recognition that resources are stewardship, not ownership. What was given can be taken. The steward's posture in both directions is the same. The financial crisis protocol does not begin with a budget adjustment. It begins with this posture. I was a steward before the crisis. I remain a steward during it. The system will be rebuilt. The practical crisis protocol begins with the four walls, the biblical hierarchy of essential obligations. When resources are constrained, they are allocated to what preserves the household's ability to function and recover. Everything else is secondary until these are secured. Wall 1, housing and shelter. The mortgage or rent payment comes first. Losing shelter destabilizes every recovery effort and adds legal and credit damage on top of income disruption. Wall 2, utilities, power, water, heat. Contact the provider immediately if threatened. Most utilities have hardship deferral programs available on request. Wall 3, food, essential groceries, not discretionary spending. SNAP benefits exist for qualifying households. Apply without delay if needed. Wall 4, transportation, the ability to get to work, interviews, or income-generating activity. Without this, recovery is interrupted before it begins. Proverbs 27:23, wisdom literature. Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds. In crisis, the condition of the flocks is exactly this. Which walls are standing? Which are threatened? The protocol addresses them in sequence, not simultaneously. When the four walls are secured, the EP20 system is triaged. The three-level priority framework from EP24 applies in reverse during crisis. Level 3 pauses completely. Debt acceleration stops. All margin beyond the four walls and minimum debt payments is redirected to crisis absorption. Level 2 reduces to true minimum. The Roth IRA contribution pauses if necessary. The employer match, if available, is maintained if at all possible. The compound interest lost during a pause is real, but raiding the Roth IRA with a 10% penalty and income tax is worse. Level 1 adjusts proportionally. The giving allocation may reduce. This is a pastoral judgment, not a rule. 1 Corinthians 16:2,
in keeping with your income, applies in both directions. When income is zero, the proportional giving adjusts accordingly. The HYSA reserve account from EP18 is the bridge. This is exactly why it exists. Draw from it deliberately, tracking the balance. The time horizon is the buffer balance divided by the monthly four walls expense rate. Contact all creditors within the first 30 days. Credit card companies, auto lenders, student loan servicers. Most have hardship deferral and reduced minimum programs available upon request. Ask immediately and document every response. Here is the framework stated plainly. Financial crisis is not a faith failure. Time and chance happen to everyone. Ecclesiastes 9:11. The posture is Job's. The Lord gave, the Lord has taken away. 4 phases. Phase 1, secure the 4 walls. Housing, utilities, food, transportation, in that order. Phase 2, triage the EP20 system. Level 3 pauses. Level 2 reduces. Level 1 adjusts proportionally. Phase 3, contact all creditors within 30 days. Request every hardship program available. Document every outcome. Phase 4, draw from the reserve deliberately. Track the balance. Know the time horizon. The EP20 architecture is the recovery destination, not the current operating mode. Every decision during the crisis is made in service of returning to it. Nehemiah 4. The walls were attacked while being rebuilt. Nehemiah did not abandon the project. He picked up the weapon and kept building. The crisis interrupted the pace. It did not end the work. Here is the protocol implemented. Week 1, assess and stabilize. Calculate the monthly 4 walls total. Housing, utilities, minimum food, minimum transportation. Compare against available resources, remaining income, buffer balance, reserve balance.
This gives you the time horizon. Contact every creditor by day 30. Request hardship deferral or reduced minimum programs. Document each call, date, representative, outcome. Pause all automated transfers beyond the 4 walls and minimum debt payments. Stop debt acceleration. Pause Roth IRA contributions. Reduce all discretionary HYSA transfers to 0. Apply for every applicable assistance program: unemployment insurance for job loss, SNAP for food security, state utility assistance if threatened. Ongoing. Track the reserve balance weekly. The time horizon is a countdown. The protocol succeeds when new income arrives before the reserve reaches 0. Work income recovery with the same urgency the debt sequence required in EP24. Freelance, contract, temporary employment, asset sales, every available income source is activated. Resumption. When stable income returns, restore in order. 4 walls fully covered first. Then Level 1 giving restored. Then Level 2 Roth IRA minimum. Then reserve rebuilt to its 3-month target. Only then does Level 3 debt acceleration resume. The recovery sequence mirrors the original construction sequence: EP18 reserve, EP20 system, EP24 debt sequence, built in the same order it was first built. Calculate your 4 walls number today. Monthly housing payment plus utilities average plus minimum food plus minimum transportation. Add them together. That is your floor, what it costs the household to function and recover in any scenario. Then answer one question. How many months does your current HYSA reserve cover at that number? 3 months or more, the EP18 reserve is functioning. The protocol is ready. Less than 1 month, the reserve is the priority. Before debt acceleration, before Roth IRA above minimum, the reserve is the crisis protocol's first requirement. Proverbs 27:23. Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. The 4 walls number is the condition of the flock. Know it today, not when the crisis arrives. The steward who knows the condition of the household is prepared. The one who discovers it during crisis has one fewer resource than they need.
Now that the crisis protocol is in place, the framework runs from building to stability to crisis and back to building again. The next question every household building this framework eventually faces is how to structure the financial conversation with a spouse or partner. The system requires agreement. The EP20 automation requires joint authorization. The debt sequence requires unified priority. A household that agrees on the framework builds it. A household that does not fights about money instead. That is the next video. It is queued up right now.